Hey Tribe, Sally here. Hope you're having an amazing and fascinating day. I know I am, and I am very happy to be back with a couple of RV hacks / tips and tricks that might be useful to you in your RV life. So first up, we're going to talk about how to be able to create shade where there is none. And this is something that's super simple, but I haven't seen anybody else talk about it, so I will. And the other one is how to be able to manage water containers when you're my age and maybe can't lift a 5-gallon can over your head anymore. We're going to get right into those as soon as we run the intro, but before we get to that, as always, thank you so much for being here and taking your time to watch my videos. I truly appreciate that. And if you're a patron or a channel member, thank you extra much. And if you're interested in becoming one, there are always links down in the video description below or on the screen here or here, whatever side that shows up on. Let's roll the intro.
Wake up with the sun in our eyes. Sally forth, no need for goodbyes. Journey calls, let's roll the dice. Every mile a new surprise.
If you've been with me for any length of time, you know that I have struggled with refrigerator issues. And I'm hoping that this year is going to be different. We're going to find out. Hasn't gotten warm enough yet for it to be a huge issue. Although I did have a couple of weeks when I was stuck down in Yuma area where temperatures were over 100 every day for almost 2 weeks and 108, 107, 108 for a number of those days. And I was able to keep my refrigerator functioning adequately. Not super well, but adequately, which is better than I have done in the past. So what's coming up next is one of the ways in which I am able to make that happen, and I wanted to share that with you. This is my driver's side shade cloth. This is only the second time I've ever put it up, and I noticed that this one grommet is pulling out from the cloth on only its second use, but that's okay. I've got these really cool suction cups, and then the top of the shade cloth just clips to that, and then stake it out into the ground, and I get shade, and I can get a little more airflow in that way as well. Now it says it's 95 outside, 85 inside. I think my thermometer cage is not working as well as it should. It feels more like it's about 85 or 86 outside to me. And there's basically no breeze. So that's part of the reason I wanted to get the shade cloth up. Here's what it looks like from the inside. So that, see, now I can leave the window shades up all the way and get the maximum amount of air in that I can. You can see it's fluttering just a little bit, and I can feel a little bit of a breeze coming through. But without the shade cloth, I can't leave the window shades up all the way because it lets too much heat and sunlight in. Jumping in during editing here, it occurs to me that I should probably talk about the bar that's holding my window open as well. If you have, and I'm sure you do, an emergency window on your RV, they're usually designed so that they can be opened to a certain extent, but I open mine up all the way, and I use one of those tension bars that are designed for holding things on the shelves in the refrigerator to hold it open pretty far so that I can get the maximum amount of airflow. And it's not being used in the refrigerator when I'm stationary anyway, so it keeps it out of the way. So using this shade cloth does two things for me. One is that it provides shade for the side of the RV, which is the living room side. In the current configuration, it's the side that I'm facing out of when I'm sitting here and talking to you right now. But the other thing that it does is provide shade to my refrigerator, which is on this side within the slide. And what's important about that is that it helps to keep the heat from beating down on the refrigerator operating components, which are on the back side of the refrigerator. Absorption style fridges are just not designed to operate effectively in temperatures above about 85 degrees. And it's pretty difficult to avoid being in temperatures above about 85 degrees when you're traveling all summer long. So this is a way that I can mitigate that by putting up the shade cloth, and I've done it a couple of times since I filmed this. I can do it now in about 5 to 7 minutes. It's not that big a deal. The issue is, though, that I have to actually clean off the areas where the suction cups are going to go, otherwise they don't stick. And when I was in Borrego, when I had it deployed where I was showing you in this video, at that point we had some super windy days that actually did dislodge the suction cup several different times. A little bit of a pain, but you know, it did help to mitigate the issues with the refrigerator that I would have otherwise been experiencing. So next up, let's talk about managing water. I don't know about you, but I cannot lift a 5-gallon container of water above my shoulders anymore without doing damage to myself. I mean, I'm sure I could get it up there if I needed to, but not on a regular basis, and probably not without hurting myself in one way or another. So, why use a 5-gallon container? I decided, and I found a different solution. So let's take a look at that. All right, check it out. This is a 2.5-gallon water container, and I wanted you to see how as it empties itself, it starts to refill with air. I also want you to notice I finally figured out which way to orient the tube for the maximum ease in filling. Okay, so back up a little bit here. All right, so we are now empty again. Last couple of drops, and you can see the shape is kind of wonky, but all you have to do is press on the sides a little bit. And just like that, we're all lined up again. So, a couple of things I learned. I've now done this, I think I've done this about 4 times now. So, first thing I learned is 2.5-gallon containers, not 5, because I can't lift 5 up above my shoulders anymore. I'm going to stick the funnel up on the counter. I'm leaving the lids on even while they're empty because I'm refilling every single day. But these will fold up flat into a very small space. You want to make sure that they're completely dry before you do that, though. So now I'm going to put them back in the car. Not my car. Not my car, guys. I did not get a car. But while I'm hanging out in Borrego Springs, my friend has lent me her car. So that's been super handy. So with those containers, I have been filling them up every day at their house, and then basically putting 5 gallons of water into my fresh water tank. I didn't do that for about the first week that I was here, but I've been doing it pretty much every day since. And I'm kind of excited about the possibility of being able to do that when I have the ability to get to water, either with my new e-trike, which you haven't seen yet, but you will, or if I'm in somebody else's car or whatever. Fill up 5 gallons of water, bring it back, dump it in, and by doing that, I think I can make my freshwater tank last as long as my black tank does, and then I'll have less need to move during the winter. All right, so nice bright sun up there. Here's what the road looks like. Right now we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people up the road from me, and this tent and this Class A down the road from me. And this is my site. I am quite enjoying it. Let's zoom in on Kit. What do you think, Kit? Are you enjoying it? Do you like it here? Yeah, we're having fun. Yes, we are. So let's talk about the water bottles a little bit more. They are collapsible. They're very highly rated on Amazon. And my issue is, so you can buy like 5-gallon bottles that are rigid. I don't have room to store that. You can buy 5-gallon bottles that are collapsible like these, or you can buy them in smaller sizes. They come in 1 gallon, 2.5 gallon, and I think 5. Let's see. See the eagle out here right in the middle? right there. That's one of Ricardo's metal sculptures. Car's going to go by it right there. And as I said, I can handle 2.5 gallons. Can't really handle 5. That would be too hard to get up over my shoulders. And I think that this is a great way to be able to carry extra water when you need to, but not have to have containers taking up all the space around. So there you go. That's a quick review. And at the end of the day, I bought these particular containers because they are collapsible, and I thought that I was going to end up collapsing them. And so far I haven't. It's been about 6 months, and I just keep them filled all the time. They are filled with potable drinking water, so if I needed to, I can drink right out of them. But if I wanted to be able to take a shower, for example, if I dump 5 gallons back into my fresh water tank, I can just run the shower and take a shower in 5 gallons. Super easy. So it's a backup plan that's always available. If I find myself out someplace and I really want to be able to stay out for another day or so, gives me the latitude to be able to do that. But if I ever did decide to fold them up, they fold up flat, and when they're folded flat, they actually fit inside of a gallon-sized Ziploc bag. Can't close the bag, but that contains them so they don't unfold again. I will put a link to those in my Amazon store, and I'll try and remember to put a link in the video description as well. I've been very, very happy with the quality of them, and they come in a variety of sizes. You can get 5 gallons. I think you can even get them bigger. But again, I didn't want anything bigger. These are 2.5 gallons. That's about as much as I can really effectively handle. And I've been very happy with them just from the standpoint of having them available. So I store them in my shower. When I go to take a shower, I just get them out and put them on the floor in the bedroom. Not a big deal. It's working for me. Let me know what you think about both of these tips in the comments down below. And as always, thanks for being here. That's all we've got for now. But we'll see you next time.